Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to prepare for FUT birthday. As you guys know, FUT birthday is pretty much confirmed to come this next Friday. And as always, man, it's one of the most fun promos that we have of the year. Likely it's going to be 2 weeks, just like it was last year. And then we're going to obviously head on to Team of the Season. But today I kind of want to talk about how to kind of prepare for it on an account level. Obviously yesterday's video we talked about the investment guide and kind of how to make coins. But I kind of wanted to make another video talking about how to prepare for it so you guys can get the most out of it, man. We're coming on to a stage of FIFA where, we're kind of at that end game area where, a lot of you guys have a lot of coins. A lot of you guys probably aren't as motivated as you guys once were to build as many coins. So, at least for me, I try to make the most out of these promos. I try to have a lot of fun. I try to use a lot of different cards. And I imagine you guys want to do the same. So we're going to kind of go over what came out last year and what we're expecting this year and kind of how to prepare for it and make the most out of it. Now, first things first, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up. But what I wanted to get into was probably the main point to take away from this video, at least for me. The number one thing I'm doing is getting liquid, man. Any trading that I do, it's very quick, flipping and all that. I'm not really invested. No, I know in the investment guide yesterday, we did talk about going into something like rare golds, or if fodder comes down later this week, we can go into that. But I'm just feeling that flipping is probably the best move to do. As you guys can see, right before I started recording this video, I was able to flip an O-Block and a Zaha both for about 8K. No, I know it's not a crazy amount, but these cards are very good to flip right now because there's such low supply in the market. As you can see, we're almost at prime time for Xbox. We barely break over 1 mil transfers in the day right now, and I know PS is much lower than it once was. And again, this is in part due to the fact that we really haven't had much supply since player days 2 weeks ago. And again, we just really haven't had any content, so there's not a lot of supply in the market. I think flipping's a really, really good thing to get into. And to continue to do because, like I said, there's no supply. These cards fluctuate a lot. But the thing is, prices are very high. And you saw that with fodder. Fodder is ridiculously expensive. I'm not too sure what rare golds are currently at. I know the 81s are up a little bit just because of yesterday's little upgrade packs we got. I'm sure a good chunk of gold rares you could still get at discard. And I'm saying that's probably still a decent investment. But as you guys can see, fodder is still pretty inflated. I know PK is still like 40-something K, Jordi Alba 34K. So I just don't think it's the greatest idea to jump into some of these higher rated cards with such an inflated market. Same goes with those informs. They're just so high in price right now. I just think it's probably a better bet to kind of just stick to flipping cards until we finally get some supply later this weekend. But as I've been saying, I want to stay liquid, and last year this was the team that we got, Team 1. I know it's kind of hard to see because my face cam's in the way, but we got a pretty decent team. We had 2 teams, of course, and then of course we had an SBC, and then themed objectives, so I'd imagine we're going to see very similar things to that again. And again, we're going to see 2 teams most likely. And those cards are going to be really sick, guys. I'm telling you right now, all those cards are going to be very usable, just like they were last year. We'll pull them up here on Footbin, but these cards are going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of people trading around with them. They're going to fluctuate a lot because, again, they're going to be so in demand, especially because we haven't gotten anything in weeks now. People are going to be excited to finally have new cards, especially cards like FUT birthday. I mean, taking a look at all these cards, man, they are all sick. Mbappe with 5-star weak foot and skills. We saw 5-star skill Hazard, 5-star weak foot Van Dijk. So you guys are going to see a lot of these really, really fun cards, and prices are going to be very high. Now, of course, like I said, we had SBCs last year. I don't really think fodder is a good idea to get into at the moment, unless we see a significant drop from now until the promo comes out. I just don't see it as a really good option heading into it. Now, of course, for preparation, the reason why I'm going in liquid is because we are going to be getting a ton of supply. Now, I'm not going to call it a market crash, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the market take a very big dip because we've really just been seeing a lot of prices go up recently as far as fodder goes. I wouldn't be surprised to see that all come down when we get a ton of supply with FUT Birthday. Of course, that's going to make prices drop down, and that's why I'm thinking it's going to be a good buy time during this weekend, I think. There's going to be some panic as so much gets added onto the market that in return, this is going to cause, prices to come down and a very good opportunity to pick up just for them to rise back up when we get, probably tons of upgrade SBCs and stuff like that. So my game plan, at least with my coins, I'm going to be waiting until like Friday, Saturday, see how much supply comes into the market, and if prices come down. And then on Sunday, I'll probably make the decision. If prices are down a good amount, I'll look to pick up a ton of fodder. I do think we're still going to get player picks. I think rare golds at discard price is still a smart move, like I said. But of course, we're going to see some really fun SBCs. I mean, just look at some of these cards. Ozil last year, obviously the prices are much different, but a 230k Ozil, really fun, 5-star, 4-star. Pretty sure I did this SBC last year too. We had a Manolas, we had a Bergwijn. He was really fun. We had really good objectives too. I just wouldn't be surprised if we got some really fun SBCs, especially because now we're kind of at that end game stage. We're heading into team this season. EA kind of just start putting out some really good stuff. And even take a look at someone like Pope last year. This SBC was completed by almost everybody. A 5-star skill Pope. Not only was he a sick goalkeeper, but he was also very fun. So we're probably going to get some kind of fun little cards like that again this year too. But look at that. We had probably 4 or 5, 6 different SBCs. So if fodder does take a dip this weekend with supply, I think it's a really good idea to pick up because I do think you guys will be able to make some really easy coins off of these cards. And not to mention for me, I'm staying liquid too because I want to use some of these cards, man. A lot of these cards were really fun to use last year. Even some of the lower tier cards, Da Costa, he was a really fun card to use in game. He was one of the best Bundesliga right backs at the time. And of course, we saw last year, these cards fluctuated a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same kind of thing. As you can see here, a lot of ups and downs on his graph, but even the first couple nights that he was out, he was a really fun card to flip. I had a ton of fun using him. And of course, we're at that stage where, it's just fun to kind of, cycle through the cards. I'm staying liquid so I can try some of them out. I am going to be doing some player reviews on some of them. But, these were really fun cards to use. And again, we got so many decent, good ones that were usable that it was just all around a good promo. And I hope we see something, similar to that. Even some of these lower tier cards, like this card, he was so fun to use. He's literally like 100k, 97 pace. He was a fun card to use in game because, again, they get just such nice upgrades. He had 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills. So hopefully we see something similar to that. Now, of course, if you guys aren't sure of when that buy time is, when can I kind of check and see when fodder is really down, use the index 100. I don't really like it as a good meta market indicator, and we will talk about metas in a second. But this graph is a very good indicator of fodder because the whole index 100 now is just full of fodder cards, aside from maybe the occasional gold meta, if there's even any of those left. I know the prices are down so much. But when you see this, this chart go down, this is when fodder's down. And we saw that, a few weeks ago. So, fodder is up a decent amount. If you see it come down to about this point right here, the 70-ish point, I think that'd be a good time to get in. But, using these indicators is always a very decent idea. Now, real quick, I do want to talk about the gold metas and just the meta market as a whole because we are seeing a steady decline in these prices. For the gold cards, guys, unfortunately, I think this continues. Now, last year, we kind of saw this kind of downtrend stop when we hit team of the season, and they kind of just hit a floor and stayed flat throughout team of the season. As far as golds go, guys, these aren't really good for flipping. I don't think they do too well. I just don't see it as a profitable method either. I know sometimes, you'll see Cristiano, he'll fluctuate from like 520 to 550, but with the tax and stuff like that, it really just isn't worth it in my opinion, and I don't know. I don't touch the golds anymore. Sure, they'll go up and down a little bit, but I just think long term, these cards continue to drop down till team of the season, then they stay flat. I don't see them much as a profit, but if you want to buy them for your team, by all means, go for it. I don't see them going down too much more, unless we get some, something crazy happens in the game, of course. But those gold metas, probably just avoid. And as far as the out of pack metas go, those special cards and stuff like that, I do think they come down a little bit too. Last year, especially with Team of the Season, now for FUT Birthday at least, I don't think we're going to see too much of a change. But last year anyways, with a lot of the Team of the Years and stuff like that, and these high tier cards, we saw them come down with Team of the Season because, again, we were getting different versions of these cards that were either better or the same. As you guys can see, we'll take a look. This was KDB's Team of the Season. He dropped at Friday, May 1st. Okay, so looking at his Team of the Year card last year, which, keep in mind, the Team of the Season was better than the Team of the Year. So we saw a bit of a decline. If we can go to where is May 1st. So as you can see, we see kind of a steady prices. We did see a little bit of a drop here. I'm not too sure what that is from. But when May 1st hits, we kind of just see a huge decline through Team of the Season. So I expect a lot of these high tier cards to kind of be on their last life here, because I do think they're going to end up taking a pretty big hit coming into the the post FUT Birthday period. But out of pack metas, they'll be okay for about another couple weeks. But I would look to start getting liquid, and just have fun with some of these new cards coming out. I think the new cards are probably the move to stay with. A lot of those older out of pack cards, they're going to start to die down as the demand just lessens way too much. With that being said, that'll wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down below, how are you preparing for FUT Birthday? Are you going to be trying to use all of these different cards? Are you going to be doing a lot of the SBCs, player picks, whatever we get? Or are you just not playing FIFA at all? Because I don't blame you if you aren't. But that being said, that'll wrap up the video again. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, peace.